Devil Child? This is a story about your devil mom, and it's amazing. I just saw a new horror film released April 5th, 2024, directed by Arcacia Stevenson, called The First Omen. I'll admit, when I first watched the trailers, I thought I knew what I was in for. After all, I've seen the original about 4 times, and if you haven't seen the original Omen, released 1976, I highly suggest you get on that, and then watch this one. The First Omen, as expected, pulls from it to a high degree, and I loved every single second of it. This movie is shocking, hard to watch, and delivers a twist at the end of a solid 2 hours of horror that you are not expecting. I want to let you know this video contains spoilers. Discover the beginning of evil, they said in their marketing. Did The First Omen deliver? I'll tell you. Sister Margaret is our main character, and she is here to help at the orphanage until she takes her vows to God. Sister Margaret is also Damien's mother. Yes, this Damien. I knew she was when I first saw the trailer, or at least I figured, because she looks just like him.
What's so cool about it is that is not even the twist.
This is Carlita, the introverted girl at the orphanage, and we are told she has a touch of madness. After admitting to Carlita that she too was troubled as a child, the two grow a bond. Margaret is here in Rome, 1971. Remember, the original is 1976, to help out as a fellow caretaker. Carlita tells Margaret she sees awful things and can't tell if they're real or imaginary. Margaret truly believes these people running the orphanage and Lawrence only follow God. As the film progresses, we see that is not the case. Margaret is warned of the evil coming just as the dad was in the original. Both characters are lost on how to solve the issue and embark on a grueling journey. It's fucking awesome. And sick. Holy moly, I am never giving birth after seeing this as well. When she notices that the other sworn nuns keep Carlita locked away most of the time and away from the other children, Margaret obviously asks about it and is shown a place called the Bad Room and is told it's where Carlita stays a lot because she becomes violent sometimes. Margaret is the only one who sticks up for Carlita and is eventually told to stay away from her. Margaret is eventually told by Ralph Ineson's character, Father Brennan, bad is coming. The child. It is not only bad, but the worst kind, the child of Satan himself. And one of the girls at the orphanage is going to bear this child. Not just anyone though, he thinks it is Carlita. Margaret cannot believe what she is hearing and shrugs it off at first, until one of the nuns at the orphanage does this. This crazy nun is also the person who warns it's a boy. She is looking at both Carlita and Margaret when she says this though. So Margaret doesn't realize she is actually talking about the child inside her, not Carlita. She goes back to Father Brennan and he tells her they have to get the stuff, the evidence, and they'll bust this place. Simple. Yeah, but not really. Not when Margaret is the one who is pregnant, not Carlita. In the original, the dad who adopts Damien is warned, like our protagonist here. He is warned that his own son is evil. The man who warns him said he saw Damien's real mother and he is about to say it's a jackal before he is carried off by security. The dad is in a high rank of power and has a high-ranking job. I think he's the president or something. I gotta watch that again. He doesn't put up with the religious talk and hysteria until the evil unfolds around him, and he is forced to see it play out until he takes some sort of action to stop it, just like Margaret. I love shit like that, you guys. I am a simple horror fan. Sister Margaret goes through so much warnings and Rosemary's Baby-esque events. It's hard to keep up on the first watch. I remember her roommate she's staying with. She isn't in the movie much, but when she is, she's doing some stuff like carrying Damien in the car at the end. She hands him off to the doctor that gave him to the dad. She betrays Margaret by warning her to, quote, be brave, but doesn't tell her what for. She's a good character. On their first night in the town, she dresses Margaret up in one of her outfits and tells her to be brave, a foreshadowing of what's to come. You can tell she is reserving certain information. They go out, they meet and befriend a couple guys, one named Paolo, who Margaret takes a liking to. There is a moment where they go from having a good time dancing to the scene going dark. You just see Margaret looking menacing missing, and she licks the guy's face. And then she wakes up hungover the next day. Obviously, something foul happened to her. Her roommate gives no information. I cannot get enough of this lore. While I was watching the movie, every time she is on screen, I just see his face. There is some mystery, I guess, as to who the main evil mother will be, but you know they're going to reveal it's eventually her. This is the girl with the mark. Yes, Carlita has it, but this is due to the church and their misdeeds with experimentation trying to find the right mother. There is a scene when Margaret's water breaks in front of the church, almost like the baby refuses to go inside, and she is on screen literally growling, jerking her body and making scary noises in pain for like 2 minutes. It's honestly probably the scariest part of the film for me. This lady is creepy good. Nell Tiger Free, thank you. And you feel pretty bad for her character. She was expecting to come in and help these girls, only to become the mother of literal Satan. It's an all gas, no brakes performance. And for me, it was better than Sweeney's yelling at the end of Immaculate. It was great. I mean, I liked it, but I'd put this movie above Immaculate for sure. But Immaculate was not bad. Both protagonists end up going ham on the villains in the end. This movie just has a way darker ending, obviously. Paolo ends up dying in front of Margaret on the street, as well as he tries to warn her to look out for the mark, pointing at something, but he is struck and split in half, dead, before he can fully give Margaret the info. Margaret is eventually told to stay away from Carlita. This causes her to be locked up in the bad room that Carlita is put in all the time. She eventually gets out, and in a really cool scene, Margaret gets the files, and we see her roommate being the one that ends up taking her vows. All in good with the ladies in black robes. Well, maybe she's taking her vows, I don't know, whatever. Maybe like the evil version of taking your vows. Margaret is more on the outside by this time and is in Sister Silver's room, secret room, where she keeps all the dirty secrets of the church and such. This is also where they deliver the evil at the end of the movie, I'm pretty sure. If you've seen it, please correct me. I saw it one time. When Margaret brings the files back to Father Brennan, they go through them, and along with Margaret's flashbacks from the night at the club, it soon becomes apparent that she has always been the girl Lawrence, Sister Silver, and the church had their eyes on to Mother Damien. This explains all the weird visions she used to have. It was herself Paolo was trying to warn her of, that she carries the evil the church wants. Also, Paolo, like his friend at the club and Margaret's roommate and Sister Sylvia or Silver and Lawrence and every other adult at the orphanage are all in on this. It's real Rosemary's Baby up in here. Margaret cannot take this news, and Father Brennan and her driver try to get her out of there, but with the church following their every move and Margaret's water breaking, they couldn't get far with the evidence. In the end, she is taken to the church where it is time for her to give birth. But when she does, it is not only one, but 2 babies. Yes, Damien has a twin, having been born with a sister on June 6, 1971. Margaret had delivered 2 devil babies. She had 2 evil babies growing inside her the whole time. She ends up killing Lawrence and then trying to kill Damien. Sister Silver gets a hold of him though, and Margaret's roommate then stabs her in the stomach, subduing her from doing any more damage. Sister Silver takes Damien and orders the rest to burn the place down, intending to kill both Margaret and her newborn daughter. But Miss Carlita steps in and saves Margaret by getting them out of there. For a second, she just leaves the movie. Margaret looks back in the fire, and I'm pretty sure it's a jackal she sees. Someone tell me if I'm wrong, but it looked like an evil dog-like creature. We later see the girls high up in the mountains, some sort of cabin, forming their own family. And for a second, it's peaceful, but this is the child of Satan. You know, this is not going to last. Father Brennan visits, giving Margaret her last warning that the church somehow knows she survived, along with her daughter. Margaret is about to shoot him if he doesn't leave, though. The church intends to find and kill them, as they wanted to before, but Margaret is a mother now and seemingly willing to do anything to protect her new daughter and Carlita. And then the movie is almost over, and you see a picture of the dad from the first one. He is being set up to take Damien, and it's playing out like how he got the child. And we see Damien actually being handed over from Margaret's roommate's hands to the doctor. It's absolutely insane, and the best way to end this crazy effing movie.